Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and today I am in my living room that is quickly being converted into an extension of the craft room. But I am working on my Capricorn cosplay or costume. I don't know, there's some debate in the costuming slash cosplay community as to what qualifies as cosplay and as what is just a costume. I'm not gonna get caught up in semantics. I'm gonna make this outfit, so let's get started. So first things first, I am making the chemise from this pattern with some slight modifications. I don't know if you can see, but here on the pattern it shows that it has a waistband, so I'm not going to be doing the waistband, and I'll kind of try to capture with the camera the perspective of how I modify that out, and then I'm going to be doing a voiceover, hopefully future Vaughn will be doing a voiceover explaining what it is that I'm doing. But I'm definitely keeping the sleeves, the longer sleeves, and I'm definitely keeping that style of hemline as well as the peplum across the chest and shoulders. So let's get started. Now also, one more thing before we get started, in your pattern that you've purchased, they will have general instructions. These are super helpful. Even if it's something like, I don't know how many of these tops I've made, I always come back to the general instructions, and I'm not even typically much of an instruction reader, general directions, sorry. But you can see it'll come through and it has like a little diagram of all the different pieces of the pattern. I've gone through already and cut out the different pieces. Like you can see, this is one of the skirt panels laid out. Each pattern will have and it's kind of delicate fabric, so you might want to be gentle with it. Don't like get it wet. But you can see it'll have the pattern number, the sizes, what pattern piece number it is, as well as these different measurement lines here on the side for like what size you're making it to. I really like this chemise design because this hem down here is purely decorative, so you can do it however you want. So I'm not exactly going to be following the line on this one, but the lines that are important are this one here. You can see where it has these little markers on it, and then these lines here. You don't want to cut one to a size 14 and then the other to the size 6 for in the same piece. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you do. Like if you're a particularly busty person but you're petite everywhere else, you might actually cut the front panel out to be the larger size and then cut the back panel out so that it's fitted a little bit more to what you're doing. So I mean, again, it's so much about the end result and less about how you get Oh, that's gonna get old quick. I'm gonna be saying that like a million times this tutorial. So I'm going through and I'm picking out the individual pieces that I'm going to be needing, and then now for realsies, we'll be getting started. No more side notes, future Vaughn. Hey guys, so here you can see I have most of the pieces laid out. The lower peplum is actually 3 parts, front, back, and then it has these like middle peplum that goes in the front and the back. That, well, off camera so you can't even see what I'm doing. But I'm going to be going through and ironing out all of these flat. You can see I have my iron over here set very low because this is a synthetic fabric. Now, whenever you're looking at your fabric, you want to make sure, is there a right and wrong side? Something like, oh, I don't know, something that has a pattern on it where it might be bolder color on one side and then faded color on the other. Most of everything that I wear and everything that I work with does not have a wrong and right side because I'm not good at keeping track of that. So there's not a right or wrong side. I prefer, if there were a right or wrong side, I would put it right sides together, because you can see there's a nice little seam down the side of our fabric here where it's folded, or a little edge there, I guess. Centerfold, I think that's what it's called. Oh, coffee's still kicking in and I'm gonna cling to that excuse for as long as I can. But I prefer to do my markings on the wrong side, that way whenever it's all sewn together it's hidden, even though I do use water soluble pencil to mark on the fabric. I just don't want to risk it. So going into time lapse, and I'm going to show you guys what I do. Hey, so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I've gone ahead and pinned my pattern down to my fabric with just these little pins, and in the nature of just doing whatever I feel like, I decided I wanted the length of the chemise to be a little bit longer, and I figured roughly about the width of this pattern instruction sheet longer. So I used that as my measuring device because I couldn't find a ruler. But I wanted around like a 27-inch length from like the top to the bottom. And this got me about 30 inches, but a lot of it's going to be taken up by like the frilly bottom. So I think it'll be perfect. And I've gone through with my chalky water soluble dressmaking pencil and marked the edges, and now I'm just going to cut this out, and I'm going to do basically this same thing to all of the pieces. Just pin it down. This is something that over the years I had to learn patience on, because you've got to be careful to make sure that you mark all of these little marker spots where it has like these little oh, that piece doesn't even have any. I'll show you on this one. Where it has all of these little diamonds, these little triangles. Mark those. They're super important for lining pieces up against each other. Just do it. Like, it seems like, oh, that's an easy thing that I can just cut out of the whole process. Take the 10 seconds and just mark it. Past Vaughn and future Vaughn, who never marks them. I always forget to, though. But just go through and make sure to mark them. Even if you end up not using them, like if you're like a wizard and you don't need stuff like that because of your supernatural sewing abilities, just mark them for good measure, like just in case. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing that, and then I'll meet you all right back here, hopefully when I have everything all cut out. So bye. Well, yeah, I'll cut out. Bye. Okay, so I've gotten a couple of pieces cut out, and you can see here I have this little length of what could have been considered scrap fabric, but the neck ruffle, this part here, fits almost perfectly on there. I'm losing the tip of one little, like, I mean, just a centimeter off of the tip of one of the little like shaggy things, but the nature of this is that it's a shaggy kind of hem. So what I'm gonna do actually is just line up here on the end that you can't really see because it's off camera. I'm just going through and I'm gonna pop some pins into this, and I'm just gonna do the end here to demonstrate, and then I'll do the rest off camera. And you can see I have a rotary cutter prepped here, but I just want to get some pins in so that whenever I get this moved off to the side, so I'm going to show you guys over here, you can see off to the side right there, I am stacking the cutout pieces that still have the pattern pieces pinned to them. That way I know what they are, because I don't know how many sewing projects I've done, y'all, where it's like, what's this? I don't know. Where does it go? I don't know. I'm just sewing this. So that's something that I've started doing that really makes a big difference, because then I can just rummage through, and I poke myself in the hands a lot with the pins, but I'd rather get poked than not know which parts are which. So I'm gonna keep doing this, and then I'll meet y'all right back here next step. Chi-Chi, what you doing? Okay guys, so we've got all of our pattern pieces cut out, and now in the instructions, in the little thing that came with the pattern, it says that we're going to start sewing the sleeve first. So let's start sewing the sleeve first. Hey y'all, so this is the progress that we're making on the chemise so far. Let me turn it right side out, inside out, I don't know. Fortunately with this fabric, so long as I have all the seams going, yeah, looks like they're all going the right way, then there's no right side or wrong side. And you can see this is a very spacious chemise. It's gonna look great, I think, with a oh, what's it called, corset over it. And I'm gonna launder it as well, that way like all the different lines and stuff will be out. But I've gone through and basted, which is a very large stitch, these seams together, attaching the sleeves to this part of the chemise, which is like right here. And now I'm going to come through, and I get kind of lax about my pinning sometimes, but I am going to be very careful to make sure that the elastic part is lined up, the armpit is lined up, and then I'm going to continue stitching all the way down to the hem. And then I'm going to go and feed all of this through my serger, which gives me beautiful, clean, even edges. So, gonna go do that. Okay, so it's been a pretty long day. Let's just say that. But I've gone through and I'd completed it. And I made some changes. I don't like, this is too much sleeve. So I trimmed it down to more of the B pattern style of the arm. And I'm gonna see if I can't manage to not serge it, because I don't know if y'all can see, but here on the edge, the hem of this, the serging makes it quite heavy. So I just don't know yet if I'm going to be able to get away with not having a serged edge on it. Because, like, I mean, even the, like, neck ruffle thing just looks kind of, I don't know. Also, I'm wearing it over my outfit in sweatpants. And it doesn't have the corset with it and a bunch of stuff. But just this was quite itchy. I didn't like the elastic on the inside. Too much sleeve. I find this much more preferable. So yeah, there's that. From the back though, I think it's quite nice. I think it's gonna look really nice with the corset over it. But again, bunch of sleeve, not a whole lot of sleeve. I like it. I prefer that, I think. Hey y'all, so this is what I got done today on this costume. You can kind of see it's got a cute little hip scarf around it. The corset I'll be wearing with this piece still hasn't arrived yet. If I had paid like $1.50 more, it would have had the 2-day shipping, like 2 to 4 day, shipping instead of like 7 weeks. But anyways, so I think it's going to look quite different whenever it has the long line overbust waist trainer corset. So we'll be able to see how that's looking and kind of evolve from there. Now also, we're going to be doing quite a bit of behind the scenes and different things, fittings, like trying it on, test runs and everything over on my Patreon. So if you guys enjoy my free tutorials and would like to get behind the scenes sneak peeks and all sorts of different stuff, as well as support the daily creation of free tutorials, please check me out on Patreon. You don't even have to pledge anything, though honestly, even just $1 goes so far in helping us to keep doing our artisan education efforts. Artisan education. Talking's hard. But yeah, you don't even have to pledge anything, and I still do stuff that I post exclusively to Patreon that all you have to do is have a Patreon account. You don't even have to be a pledger, and you can still see what I'm doing. But I'm really excited to see how this costume comes out. I had a lot of fun sewing today, but man, like, I kept having to restring my serger like a billion times. It felt like, and then fighting with the tension, all sorts of stuff. So it's definitely knocking some of the rust off today. But if you guys have any questions, comments, or ideas, you know I love hearing from you. You can contact me on Facebook, like you can post stuff onto the wall. That way I can see what you're up to, or you can tag me on Instagram. There'll be links for all that stuff down below, as well as links to my Patreon account, where in addition to doing the behind the scenes exclusive access, we also do monthly craft crates and fairy house giveaways and all sorts of different stuff that I have a lot of fun with. So but I'm so excited. I can't wait to sew all day again tomorrow. But no. Okay, so I'll see you guys around. Happy crafting and bye.